You can see my screen.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can turn my camera back on. Settings. Here we are. Can you see me now?
Here it is. This is a little tiny window.
See, that doesn't really
Oh,
help
there you
much. So now that I uploaded this UJA software, every time I turn my computer on, it says my webcam access is allowed. So I can tell you that after this semester, I'm going to uninstall this sucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. The sacrifices we make. Probably does the same thing to you guys. All right, so let's go back to our programming workbook. And so next thing on the chopping block is turning on the spindle. So it's kind of a methodical, logical thing here. So G97, if you remember right, it says turn on the spindle in RPM mode. And the reason we go 450 RPM is our part is 2.1 inches. And I'm going to say it's out of a piece of 2 1/4. So if we take 2.250, let's see, okay, 3.820 times the, say we want to run 300 surface feet, and are divided by 2 1/4 is going to be 500 RPM when we're down to the part. So I'm always kind of in the habit of wanting to make sure my RPM is turned on slower than what it's going to be when it gets down to the part, because I just think it's better, it's easier on the spindle. G97 S400 M3 turns the spindle on. So a lot of this is getting you guys ready for the final exam coming up here in a few weeks. Plus you're, you know, by filling in the blanks. I'm going to put a carrot on this side so that you have to fill that in. Probably look at the plus notepad, because I could make different colors and things. You actually have to download that, and I was having some trouble with it. But, that's just my... I'm going to find a file path to save this at. Control save. And I'm going to save it in... let's go to... see my ridiculous file path here. CNC Lathe, Advanced Lathe. And we're going to save this in S20 as YC homework. I don't want to lose my extension though. That way, as I'm saving it, I'll know where to go back and get it at the end of the class. All right.
Gotcha.
Save. For anybody have any questions so far? Nope. All right, we'll keep on talking. Okay, so I'm in the Haas programming workbook on page 82 here. Let's see. All right, so what I'm going to have you guys do is program this contour, and it's pretty easy. All right. One thing that's specific to the G71 cycle is you have to face the part before you go in and cut the contour. So
what page was that?
Down, huh?
What page were you on? 82. I'm going to write that down.
Yep. Page 82. So right here we're positioning the machine tool in front of the part. So we're going to say 54, G0. Probably G0 should be first. Doesn't matter though.
It won't matter, but
it doesn't.
For aesthetic reasons, you should be in numerical order.
Right, and plus I think
I mean,
G0 is probably a more critical broad code, so I try to put my broadest codes first that cover most territory.
what do you
So
mean broad?
we're at have a piece of 2.5 inch round. So X, I always like to move X and Z at the same time. I think some of you guys, there's programs you'll like move the Z and then move the X. And it's a little bit of a production delay because your simultaneous movement is going to be quicker than moving the Z and then X. So the X 2.5 will be off the part by 125 thousandths on the radius. Z 0.1, and it's a great time to turn on the coolant. Right,
What's the diameter of our material?
2.25.
2.25. Okay.
Yeah, because oops, I just X'd out of my project. Open a new tab. Yeah, because our material, our part finishes out, and I apologize for the small screen because you guys are looking at the version even smaller, and I hope you're not trying to do this on a phone. That's partially why. So 2.1 is our target dimension, and so our material has to be bigger than that. The next logical size would be 2.25. All right, let's get back to here's what the problem is. Scoot this over a little bit. Keep Xing out of my. Let's see. All right. YC project.
Neither has a lot of things attached to it.
Somebody say something?
No.
Okay, so now we're going to continue on with our example here. Turn on the coolant. Next logical thing is to turn on our constant surface heat. So this G96 S370 now says you're not at RPM anymore. You're gonna run a constant surface heat for whatever diameter you're turning at. So G96, constant surface heat on. S, I'm gonna go a little slower than that. 325. Preserve my carbide. RPM should kick up to about 500 or so as we calculated earlier. And I'm going to say G1, Z0. All right. So the next move will be your move. And we'll put a little caret here. And we'll say X move face. Make sense? So you'll say G1, yep. You'll call it to face it down, probably to pass 0. First of all, we never did give it a tool number.
A tool, right? We need a tool.
Yeah, we got to call out a tool. We'll say T, remember 101. Tool 100 will call up tool 1, and the 01 will call up the offset. So it's the same as saying T0101.
And what is?
We're gonna say.
What is the tool?
Right hand BNMG 432. So that 432 tells us that it's a 30-second radius. If it's a 431, it's a 64th radius. Because inserts
30-second. 30-second radius.
30-second radius. So that's a clue to where you need to move your face X down to. So then we'll say G0 X dot dot Z dot dot dot. So you'll have to input those values. And you can kind of look at this as a guide. I'm trying to get you in the habit of looking at these examples and so that the format's correct. All right. So here's our this is basically putting our tool in position to cut the contour. And even though we are, after this line, programming the exact contour, it's not going to really do that. It's going to start up here. If we were programming this particular part, it would start up here and take multiple passes all the way down. But what we're doing is we're programming the exact contour. The machine will be running macros in the background that plug in all those numbers and turn it into a can cycle. All right, so we got G71. 10 times out of 10, this line is going to look a lot alike. All these values, it's pretty easy to remember because you think, what does the machine need to know? You know, it needs to know the first and last line number to go to.
Hello, Michael.
Mike. So again, if your mic's not working, you can always type in questions in the chat. Is that Mike Bell or Mike R?
Yeah, Mike Bell.
Awesome, you made it in. Happens if Ethan Crabb, Michael Bell, Michael Ray Bell. Okay, glad to see you made it. Thought we were going to have a special session this afternoon. All right, so we're just programming along here, and I'm going to post this program on the Blackboard when we're done today, here in about an hour and 10 minutes or so. Okay, so G71, I'm on page 82 of our workbook. This is review. G71, E1, U2, I'm a Q. A little early on Saturday to be working already. U.01, and so this U value is what? Anybody know? It's how much stock we're going to leave in X. That's how much stock we're going to leave in X for the finished pass. W at 005. How much stock we're going to leave in Z for the finished pass. And the reason that we double U is because it's on the diameter, right? So we're essentially leaving 5 and 5. Now, if you remember right, to get a good finish, a lot of times you want to leave about 30% of the radius of your tool nose. And so if I was going to do that, I'd say 0.032 times 0.30%. So to get our optimum finish, we really want to leave about 10 thousandths in X per side. So if you can get away with it, U.020 is going to give you a better finish, because the lighter the cut you take, the less rigid your setup becomes. In other words, it's not pushing the insert as hard, so it's going to sort of chatter on the top of your part. You don't want to do this with Z because you don't want Z engaging a lot of material on the finish cut, because there will be this whole face there. We're cutting this part. We're cutting this part. All right, so the next thing up is the D. And the D is how much we're going to take each pass. And I think Dustin commented on how he hates programming the lathe so much because there's so many rules. And this is one of those rules that doesn't make sense, because the D value is on the radius. So we're really taking 250 off the whole thing. So I'm going to just take like 80,000.
Why would you do that stuff?
2.080.
It's like
Feed rate.
my conversations with people. I still have the phone, I got stuff to
Somebody making breakfast or something?
Coffee.
Ah. Ethan says, I about got to the meeting 50 minutes prior to making an original, and you just said not supported by Internet Explorer. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's the thing. You got to use Google Chrome with the UJ app. So yeah, there's
Or Firefox. That's what I use.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of technical issues with this, and I had to spend a fair amount of time learning to use the UJ thing and try to create a normal class for us to finish out the semester. So while it is kind of a drag that we're having to do this and not having the machine tools available, it is nice that we're going to be able to wrap up our four credit class and have some meaningful educational value to it.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty laid back with this platform because everybody's going through a lot right now, and so we're just trying to get through it here. All right. So the next line, so this sets up your D71 cycle. So you're gonna do the next line. So N1, you would have a G code, ... You will have a two G codes, and I'm just spoiler alert, you can look at this line and get a pretty good idea of what's going on here. Now, what we're doing, if you look up at this, we forgot to G0 move to phase. Oh, that's the G1 move to phase. And then this rapid move right here is basically going to be the same. You're going to be positioning your tool where you would want it to start your first pass. So you got a Z.1 clearance plane on this example and X 3.1 on the diameter, and their part, it's kind of hard to see, their part is 3 inches, and with our part being 2 1/4, you want that Z move to reflect where our part starts. In fact, up here I'll put material equals 2 1/4 cold rolled steel, like 1018 or something. Okay, control save. I'm going to come down here and put some additional lines so we can get that. So we got our G0 move, and we're going to wrap it down to the start point of our contour. So you'll have an X move, and that's it. So just because there's 3 dashes doesn't mean you'll have 3 characters there. It's just blah, blah, blah. X blah, blah, blah. All right. Now, if this were type 2, you would have an X and a Z move to tell it type 2, but we're basically just programming a simple where to go. We're programming, we want to put a chamfer on there, and then we want to take a cut down to 2.1, and since we're taking 80 thousandths passes, it'll take probably 2 to 3 passes to do it, to make it. All right, so we'll give you the next line. Say G1 Z0 and Here's a little tip also. If you wanted a slower feed rate for your finish pass, you can put it in this line because it will ignore it on the roughing pass, and then on the finish pass it'll come and pick it up. And I'll just say F.005 or 3. Their feed rates on this part are pretty aggressive, so I don't know if they're cutting aluminum. All right, so everything is ready to go. Now this X move needs to reflect where the start of your chamfer is going to be. So if does it call out a chamfer? 30 thousandths by 45 degree chamfer, 3 places. So I don't know where the third place is, but the front and back require a 30 thousandth chamfer. So this X would be 60 thousandths minus your 2.1. So the next move will be an X 2.1 Z minus 0.030. So that's your target dimension. Then we're going to feed all the way down to where the little bit past the part for to take material down for the cutoff. And what is our overall length? 3.4. And we'll say we have a 1/8 cutoff. E minus point. Oops. Minus 3.525. Let's see if anybody's got any questions. Nobody's got any questions? This is all reviewed, right? We all got this.
Yeah.
All right, and then following, so this is kind of the gold standard here for roughing. So they're doing all this other work. Ours is a little easier. We're going to feed off the part. X 2.3. And so you do the next line, which will be a lot like this right here. This could be N dot 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 G blank 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 X blank blank blank. And so that's going to essentially end the can cycle. But we're not quite done yet because we still need to finish it. We still need to run a finish pass. So that would be, we'll give you that one, G70, Q1, Q2, and that will tell it to go back and read lines 1 through 2. So this probably gives you a clue of what that's supposed to be right there. May I have a question? Nope. We lost Dave and he never come back. Never came back. All this sheltering in place has got my English not being so great. Gonna start.
Dave's here.
Huh?
He just posted in the chat.
Oh, I just see you're spinning over here in the. Yeah, he must be here, or he wouldn't have put the question mark there. Awesome. That's good. Everybody's here, I think. Except Dustin's not here. Dustin told me he's got some issues with his internet being out in the boondocks where he lives. So I'm hoping that he'll be able to somehow get the videos. Which reminds me,